Hi everyone. So the case I have for you today is not only recent in the terms of it's happened in the last couple of years, but it's also probably one of the most sad cases and vile cases. It does involve the death of a 2-year-old child, and the manner that it happened um, is really just gross. So there's not a whole lot on it, mostly because it's the you're gonna understand when I get into it. So the actual case. Um, the police came to their conclusion of what happened fairly quickly, because of the evidence that they got fairly quickly. And as much as I looked, I have not been able to find like a trial set date or like any information about that. So that's the reason why there's not like a whole lot of different information other than like it happened and then this is the outcome so far, if that makes sense. But we're gonna be talking about a little boy named Ezekiel Harry. The links that I use for research will be down below. I highly encourage you to go look into it yourself. This is a case that I will be keeping my eyes on just because I haven't been able to find like an actual trial yet. So when that does happen, I will definitely be keeping you guys up to date with it. But let's go ahead and get into it. So Ezekiel Josiah Harry was only 2 years old and a resident of I'm sorry if I pronounced this wrong, Thibodaux, Louisiana, and he passed on July 12th of 2022. He is described as being a typical little boy, always smiling and running around. He was bold, tough, and loved to laugh. He also enjoyed playing with his dad and his siblings. So, dispatchers received a call around noon on July 12th that there was a potential child abduction. So, the mother is Maya Gwynlyn Jones, and she told officers that she and her 4 children had been walking in the 100 block of Mahler Street across Bayou Terrebonne, near their home, when a person in a gray truck passed by, grabbed Ezekiel, and drove off. And detectives fairly quickly they grew suspicious. Um, but multiple state and local agencies participated in the search for him, and that included searches of Bayou Terrebonne and Intracoastal Waterway, which was nearby. So, Louisiana State Police also issued a statewide Level 2 Endangered Missing Child advisory on behalf of police in Homa, because it is a smaller town. There's not a whole lot of people there, so they did it on behalf of that police department. And the Homa police chief said that the search took a turn when they received surveillance footage from the family's neighborhood, and that surveillance showed Maya and her boyfriend, Jermaine Robinson, leaving their home with a black duffel bag. And they threw that duffel bag into a trash can. And when they returned, it was about 5 a.m. that day, and they returned without the duffel bag. So there was also additional footage from when she claimed that Ezekiel was taken, and it showed that her and her kids were walking, and they had a infant carrier that was actually empty. So he was never in that carrier. So kind of makes you realize that this was a setup. Both of them were taken in for questioning, and that is when a lot of stuff started coming out. Like, there were several discrepancies that they were giving in their stories, and eventually, one of them, I couldn't figure out who, they ended up actually giving up information that would lead to finding Ezekiel's body. And around 6 p.m. on July 12th, so just 6 hours after he was reported missing, his body was found stuffed in a trash can. Like, this is what I said when there wasn't a whole lot of information, because she reported that he had been supposedly taken, and then like just 6 hours later, they had the information they needed to get them, to bring them in. So this is really sad. He actually died from severe blunt force trauma to the head, according to his autopsy. Maya and Jermaine were indicted on first-degree murder charges as well as charges of obstruction of justice on August 12th, 2022. And of course, they pled not guilty. Also, the death penalty is also being sought in this case, and it's believed that it could very well end up being a death penalty case, or that they could actually end up getting it. So Ezekiel's other siblings, in case you're wondering about them, they are actually in custody with their biological grieving father. So the father is not the man in question that was helping Maya, that was her boyfriend. Their actual father, who was a very good man. They are in his custody. I believe he has full physical custody of them. And my heart just breaks for that man. I am so sorry to him. And that is what I have for you guys on Ezekiel. Like I said, I haven't found anything about it actually having gone to trial yet. Trials, they can take months, they can take a very long time for anything to get done. But I'm going to continue doing my research and paying attention to this case. I hope that Maya and Jermaine, I hope they get punished to the fullest extent possible. I 100% believe that they killed him, as evident by the footage. I can't imagine what would make them want to do that to a 2-year-old child. I mean, just imagine a 2-year-old little baby. What could that child have done to you that made you so upset that you harmed them like that? I can't wrap my mind around it. But I do believe that they harmed him in some way. It was severe blunt force trauma to the head, so they obviously hit him with something really hard. I believe that they did stuff him in that trash can like he was trash, not her son, which is disgusting. And then they tried to pass it off like a child abduction, which is disgusting. She actually got her other children to walk with her with an empty infant carrier, and then made up this story that someone had just stolen Ezekiel. And I can understand how they would immediately grow suspicious of that. You have all these children with you, and someone in a gray truck just randomly stops, grabs one of your kids, and then goes. I feel like that is very unlikely to happen, especially if you have that many children with you, and you're in a public place. I don't know. That just feels really weird to me. So that was kind of a weird setup, but it's just disgusting that she brought her other children into it. I don't know how old those other children were, but they have to at least be a little bit older than Ezekiel. They had to have known that Ezekiel wasn't in that carrier. I find that so disgusting. I can't imagine just trying to pass that off. So I think the police did a really good job in this case. They really got on it. Although I feel like with the footage, the surveillance footage, they did not have a hard task of proving that these people are despicable. So that is the story of Ezekiel Harry, which is still ongoing. Like I said, I will keep you guys up to date. If you live in this area, you've probably heard more about this case. So if there's anything I'm missing, please let me know. Please be respectful in the comments about Ezekiel and all that, because obviously he still has family that's alive. They might stumble across this video, and I don't want them to be met with disrespect or anything disgusting, so please just be kind, regardless of what your thoughts are about the Maya and Jermaine, so please just be kind. But let me know your thoughts down below. My thoughts are with Ezekiel and his family. That little boy, he is just so cute, so smiling and happy, and he's not with us anymore because his mother and her boyfriend did something to him, because he did something that was just so bad in their eyes, whatever it could have been, that they had to take his life, and that is upsetting. But my thoughts are with his family. I am so sorry to the father. When I told you guys at the beginning, one of Ezekiel's favorite things to do was to play with his siblings and his father, so they obviously had a close relationship. I cannot imagine how the father feels, how the siblings must feel. And I'm very happy that they are in his custody and that they are with a loving parent. But thank you so much for listening to Ezekiel's story. I hope that justice is served, and I will keep you guys updated. I will also see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.